The Rune Sockets of Finitude, Part 1. Talia and the Digging Up the Countryside Evil had been able to get hold of all the Stones of Finitude. Now, all that was left was to insert them into the gauntlet.
How did I get here? What are we doing here? I thought we were just going to put the stones in the gauntlet.
Talia and the Stone-Snatching Evil had all 5 Stones of Finitude together. For these to be mounted into the Gauntlet of Finitude, they would first have to be inserted into the ritual Rune Sockets of Finitude.
What? What's this bullshit? Tristan just inserted the damn things into the gauntlet?
No, you just didn't see that sequence. It happened off screen.
The hell he did? I watched him do it myself. Okay, I suppose there's no way I can get out of this. And did I hear you correctly earlier when you said part 1?
Each of the stones had to be taken to its corresponding rune socket. Talia and the not getting wound up about artificially prolonged game time evil set to work.
Well, I'm sure as hell pissed off about this lousy plot twist. It almost looks like someone wanted to get a few more levels in just because there were 20 missions in Dungeons 3. And now, just because someone is afraid of a few bad reviews, I have to put in an extra shift. Well, thanks a lot, you out there. But hey, what the hell? Let's get going. Show the gormless developers that we can jump through a few extra hoops on top of everything else. Onward, creatures! Find those rune sockets. Get the normal stones, the non-rune stones there, and let's finally put this freaking thing to bed!
Your little snots have dug up a spider. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. You've dug into a spider room. In order not to make things too easy for Talia, the storytellers had decided to have heroes appear here far from any civilization to attack the dungeon. Story intrinsic logic was something that happened to other people. A new area of the dungeon has been discovered.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Sniffing around the underground evil's creatures had discovered one of the rune chambers, in the center of which was one of the rune sockets. Using the hand of terror made placing the stone there child's play.
Rune chambers, rune sockets, non-rune stones. Oh, creativity must have gone into overtime there, huh?
Tanos's fanatical fighters grew stronger and stronger. In order to defeat them, the leveling evil's creatures had to become even stronger.
Easy for you to say. Someone capped the maximum level at 10. The nerve!
This was only partially correct. Actually, the demonic Vault of Might offered the ability to raise the maximum level. The secretly leveling its creatures above the maximum level evil immediately tried it out.
Oh, yeah, you can bet your sweet Bippy we're going to try that out. How come you only tell us something like that right before the end, just when the final battle is practically about to begin?
It's called an arc of suspense.
A couple more of your little catchphrases, and I'll suspend you over a gorge. But whatever. Hop to it, little snots. Make some space for a Vault of Might. Ha 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 ha!
The power of this stone of finitude increased the gain in experience for all creatures. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon. This stone of finitude made all creatures gain experience much faster.
It's payday.
The gain in experience of all creatures was significantly increased by the Stone of Finitude. The experienced Stone of Finitude allowed the most literate Evil's creatures to gain even more experience. The experienced Stone of Finitude allowed the curious Evil's creatures to gain experience more quickly than ever.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
A construction crew set out to rebuild the destroyed hero buildings.
Bye-bye, baby!
This Stone of Finitude made all creatures gain experience much faster. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. The gain and experience of all creatures was significantly increased by the Stone of Finitude. This Stone of Finitude made all creatures gain experience much faster. A member of the Fellowship, a completely trustworthy seeming church, traveled the country doing good. Stopping him would no doubt bring in quite a bit of evilness. A gold vein is almost exhausted. Your little snots have completely mined out a gold vein. Enemies are in the dungeon. Ding dong, it's payday.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
The power of this stone of finitude increased the gain in experience for all creatures. A gold vein has been mined out. Payday! One of Digging Evil's creatures had discovered another rune chamber in the underground. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. The second stone of Finitude had been placed. Only 3 more stones waited to take their proper place. The legendary Stone of Swiftness had now unleashed its full power. From now on, the Absolute Evil could use this to make its creatures even faster. Your enemies are in the dungeon. Your little snots have dug up a spider. An artifact was discovered in the dungeon. The experienced Stone of Finitude allowed the most literate Evil's creatures to gain even more experience. The bonus-grabbing Evil had stored an artifact in order to unleash its powers. The power of this Stone of Finitude increased the gain in experience for all creatures. The gain in experience of all creatures was significantly increased by the Stone of Finitude. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. This stone of finitude made all creatures gain experience much faster. The power of this stone of finitude increased the gain in experience for all creatures. The stone of finitude made all of the creatures faster. This stone of finitude amplified the speed of all creatures. Nice. The experienced stone of finitude allowed the most literate evil's creatures to gain even more experience. The stone of finitude made all of the creatures faster.
It's payday.
The gain in experience of all creatures was significantly increased by the Stone of Finitude. Your enemies are in the dungeon. The sound of a traveling gospel group resounded across the countryside. If the cruel evil had its way, this time there would be no encore. Manivores have been discovered in your dungeon. This Stone of Finitude amplified the speed of all creatures. Nice. The power of this Stone of Finitude sped up the speedy evil's creatures. The power of this Stone of Finitude increased the gain in experience for all creatures. Ding dong, it's payday. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon. Manivores have been discovered in your dungeon. This stone of finitude amplified the speed of all creatures. Nice. A construction crew set out to rebuild the destroyed hero buildings. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. The experienced stone of finitude allowed the most literate evil's creatures to gain even more experience. Your little snots have dug up a spider. You've dug into a spider room. Your enemies are in the dungeon. You have unearthed a new area in the dungeon. the dungeon-digging evil had discovered an artifact. The bonus-grabbing evil had stored an artifact in order to unleash its powers. A new area has been unearthed. Another rune chamber has been discovered. Manivores have been discovered in your dungeon. An artifact was discovered in the dungeon. The bonus-grabbing evil had stored an artifact in order to unleash its powers.
She's not gonna get up. A few lone heroes trudged somewhat unmotivated through the countryside. The evilness-generating evil would be only too happy to intercept these unfortunate individuals. The Digging Evil's creatures had discovered another rune chamber in the underground.
Ding dong, it's payday. The third stone of Finitude was placed. 2 more stones needed to be placed. The stone of damage was now in the damaging evil's arsenal and could be used to strengthen its creatures. The stone of efficiency was now at the effective evil's disposal. From now on, its rooms would be able to work much more effectively. The 4th stone of Finitude was in place. Only 1 more stone had to be placed before the gauntlet could be charged.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? Could be charged?
I think it's better if you just wait and see.
Ah, that does not bode well.
The stone of efficiency was now at the effective evil's disposal. From now on, its rooms would be able to work much more effectively. This stone of Finitude sped all of the creatures up. Enemies are in the dungeon. Another rune chamber has been discovered. This stone of Finitude strengthened the attacking power of the destructive evil's creatures. The 5th stone was placed in the corresponding rune socket. The ritual could begin.
I knew it! Not only have I now wasted so much time dragging these damn stones around everywhere, no! Naturally, this nonsense is just going to keep going on forever! Let me guess what the next mission's about.
Well, of course, it could well be that there were heroes who would try to disrupt the ritual. A certain dwarf queen somehow comes to mind.
Oh, of course, that makes sense. If you have to buy yourself some more game time somewhere, then you might as well do it right. The keyboard-torturing hack cobbling this story together better hope I never get my hands on him.